You can make the best music in the world, but if nobody listens to it, you're never going to make a dime. So today, we're going to talk about how to find your fans on every platform. So let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's Tom. Welcome back to the lab and welcome back to my life. Now, before we get into it, every Friday on YouTube, we have a live stream at 1 p.m. where we talk about music marketing, branding, business, and anything else you guys want to jam on. Every single Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time, this is the place to be to come talk about the questions you have. You can ask me, you can ask all the really cool people in our community. Everybody's engaging, everybody's nice, and everybody is super helpful. So if you have questions or you just want to be a part of a really cool community, come join us this Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time. Moving on. You make music, you put it out, and you want people to listen to it. But you don't know where to start when it comes to creating content for social media, how to organically market yourself, how to find people who are interested. Today, we're going to talk about exactly how you do that. And we're going to talk about 5 different strategies and tips that work on every platform, regardless of what it is. So tip number 1, first and foremost, you've got to post consistently. Every single platform out there has its own content strategy and own way of pushing out content through a different algorithm that will deliver it to people who want to see it. For TikTok, you need to post every single day, at least once a day. If you can post 2-3 times a day, do that. On YouTube, you need to post at least 1 video every week, 2 or 3 if you can. And you need to make sure that your content is really good. You need to make sure that your thumbnail's really good. And you need to make sure that your title is engaging enough to click through so that people watch it. And when they get there, you want to make sure the video is good so they watch the whole thing. On Instagram, you need to make sure you're posting at least 3 feed posts a week, at least 8 to 10 stories every week, at least 1 to 3 IGTV videos every week, and at least 4 to 7 reels every week. I know, that one's a lot, trust me. On Twitter, you need to post at least once a day, probably 3 to 5, sometimes 10 times a day if you have the ideas and the content to get away with it. So listen, first of all, I know that's a lot of content, and we'll get to how you can make all that happen, especially if you're like me and you're just one person trying to figure it out. And we're also going to talk about how you can come up with content in the first place, because my guess is that if you're anything like me, you're sitting here wondering, okay, Tom, that sounds great. I would love to be able to post all this stuff, but I have no idea what to post about. I have no idea what people want to see. All I can think to post is, hey, I'm making music, or I just put out music and I don't know what else to show people. We'll get to that, I promise you. But the point is this, when you do decide to post, when you do decide to pursue any given avenue, consistency is key. Consistency is everything. It gives your audience something to expect and something to look forward to. If you're all over the place, they're never going to know when to tune in and hear what you have to say. Point number 2, post content that is native to the platform, whatever it is. I know a lot of us have this idea that, well, I'll make a 9-minute YouTube video and then I'll break that up and I'll repost sections of that video on Instagram. I'll post a section of that video on YouTube. I'll post a clip on Twitter. I used to do the same thing. I used to be like, well, I'll just record one piece of content and then I'll edit it all up and I'll post it everywhere. That gets really boring really fast. You can pull it off in some instances. In some instances, recycling your content like that is a good idea, but I prefer this way. Instead of recycling the content, recycle the idea. Take whatever the thesis is for that big long form piece of content. So let's say your anchor piece of content, what I refer to as anchor content, is your YouTube video. That's what it is for me. Every week I post at least 1 YouTube video, sometimes 2. And every week that 1 or 2 videos is the anchor content for the week. It's the theme of the week. And you'll probably start to notice this now that I've told you that. And I'll take those ideas and I will recycle them into native content for other platforms. So for example, this video about these 5 strategies on how to succeed on any platform, you will hear me talk about this in some form of a different way on Instagram stories, on feed posts, on TikTok. I'll post this kind of idea on other platforms, on Twitter, but it won't be exact clips from this exact video. So rather than recycling the content, I'm recycling the idea and using it in a native format that works for the platform. So my TikTok video is going to be formatted in a way that works really well for TikTok, but wouldn't work for YouTube, and vice versa. So post native content that works for the platform you're using. Number 3, this one may seem obvious, but in practice to most of us, it's not. Engage with others. Engage with people on your posts and on their posts. I can't tell you how many times I see people post something that could be a really dope, productive piece of content, and then somebody comments on it and they don't say anything in return. If somebody comments on your posts, comment back, reply. You may notice that every single comment that, at least that I've seen, maybe I've missed some, every single comment I've ever gotten on my YouTube channel, I reply to. If I see it, I reply to it. And I'm going to continue to do that until it's just so overwhelming that I can't keep up. I try to do the same thing on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything. Not only does that build engagement on your content, and not only does it increase the likelihood that others are going to see it because those engagement metrics go up, it also genuinely connects you to people. And that's how you find your fans. That's how you build your following and your audience and your fan base, is by having genuine one-on-one connections with people. It's the only way it happens. Number 4, this may be the hardest one out there. Be honest and transparent. Everybody wants to make Instagram and YouTube and whatever else their highlight reel. People think the internet is the place where you put your best foot forward and you show people how great your life is. Like, everything I do is dope. My life is so sick. I never have any problems. That is not what people want to see. It's vain, it's vapid, it's empty, and nobody engages or connects with that. The way to truly build fans and an audience and a following is to be you. Be honest and open and transparent. And this brings us back to, what kind of content do I make? I don't know what to post about, Tom. Can you help me come up with something to post about? Yes, I absolutely can. Okay, if you're watching this video, odds are you're a musician. You make music, you release music on a regular basis, or at least I hope you do. Posting about that process is great. Post about being in your studio, whatever that looks like, your creative process. Post little sections of beats you're working on, or songs, or post yourself with an acoustic guitar just coming up with ideas. These are all great things. But that isn't what you do with every hour of your 24 hours in the day. You don't spend 24 hours of every day just working on music all the time. Odds are you have other interests and hobbies, like maybe you like to read, maybe you like comic books, maybe you enjoy cooking, maybe you're a dog lover, maybe you like to hike outdoors, maybe you really like photography. There are tons of different things that people have as hobbies and interests. Take all of those things that make you uniquely you and talk about them and share them and combine them. You can make a video about loving to make hamburgers and like put your music in the background of it and combine those two worlds. But just be you. Be honest and transparent and completely who you are, unashamedly so, on the internet, and you will find like-minded people. You will find that group of people who are nuts about hamburgers, but also love lo-fi beats, and you can start a lo-fi hip-hop hamburger YouTube channel or whatever, and people will come for it. People will want to be a part of that. So be authentic, honest, and transparent. That is the best content strategy I can give you, is to just be yourself. And number 5, this is kind of a bonus one, but I want to say it anyway. Be patient. This is the thing that will wreck 99% of us. This is going to take years to build a following, especially if you're starting from zero. Posting on a regular basis takes time to build something organically. You're not just going to pop off and go viral overnight. If you do, my hat's off to you. Come comment on this video and tell me I was wrong. I'd love to be wrong about that. But for 99% of us, it's going to take time. It's going to take work. It's going to take showing up every single day and creating things and just being ourselves. And odds are you will find that the more you show up, the easier it becomes. Your content's going to suck at first. It really is. Mine did. Go back and look through the history of this channel and see just how bad my videos were when I first started. It's going to be bad for a while, but you've got to show up and do it every day. Put in the reps. The only way to get better is to keep showing up. Prioritize quantity and systems and process first. Make as much as you can and stick to a consistent schedule, and you will find that over time, you'll just naturally get better because that's the way people work. You'll keep showing up, you'll see opportunities for incremental improvement here and there, and it will happen. But you've got to keep showing up and you've got to be patient with the process. Now, before I let you go, I want to remind you to please subscribe to the channel if you're not. Like this video if you feel it, share it with your friends if you're really into it, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos in the future. Now, at the end here, I've got a couple of videos you can check out. I would love for you to keep digging down the rabbit hole of stuff I've made and watch some of these. And as always, thanks for being here, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.